Welcome back to the Fun Pop Fan Gang, everybody. We are now in part two of our special series for classic rock bands, our music podcast episode. Since
Rock
music,
episode.
exactly. Since music is the universal language, and everybody out there in YouTube land or Apple Podcast land.
hmm
Shameless plug. We are now on Apple Podcasts,
hmm
Spotify podcasts, and any kind of podcast that you
Okay.
listen to. You'll find the Fun Pop Fan Gang.
hmm
So before we continue for part two, we're going to do a little recap. And Mr. Eric, you have something to say?
PC pop up PC pop up bleh. PC and pop up guys. And friend
Yeah, previously on the Fun Pop Fan Gang. That's right. We might
guys
we
and
might have to
friend.
do a bloopers episode at some point. I think we have a lot of bloopers if we
Yeah.
go back in the archive. But yes, previously on the Fun Pop Fan Guys, classic rock bands up. And first band, we talked about the Beatles
Big tools,
and the
yes.
British invasion. Then we went
Uh-huh.
across to the Rolling Stones and Tongues Out to You. And then we went to the Beach Boys, hitting the
What's
wave,
up?
catching a wave. Then we started getting into the real classic rock era, 60s and 70s.
Rock
And we
classic
said
rock classic hard rock
classic hard rock and Led
to the
Zeppelin.
60s
Got it.
and 70s.
That's right. Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath with
Black Sabbath.
Ozzy.
I say
All right. And then we went into the glam and shock rock era. Alice
as
Cooper. Who else we
Cooper.
got here?
Dave Bowie
Freddie
and
Mercury,
Freddie Mercury from the band.
Queen.
yes,
And of course,
Kiss,
Hmm.
baby.
Kiss.
I am actually wearing my Kiss Navy shirt, Rich. So,
Hold on, let's get a closer shot of that. Let's see. Let's see that
can
again.
let me see if I can get closer.
I'm gonna get kind of closer.
Uh, so, Kiss's fan club is famously called the Kiss Army. But I was on the very first ever Kiss cruise, and also the fourth one. And
Can
so
I kiss you?
I'm not Kiss me.
It's a pun with the name of the kiss, and someone
Yes,
said it back.
very Eric, you beat me to the first pun. You're gonna ruin my reputation here.
No, I won't.
Not that I have a good reputation, but
Yeah.
yes, if you were on the Kiss cruise, you are an honorary member of the Kiss Navy.
Ah, I see what they did there.
I
Very,
You
touch a
cannot buy the
kiss
shirt in a
station.
store. You had to have been there. Maybe
very.
eBay.
Well, there you go. The very first Kiss cruise for one of the number one Kiss fans. Definitely the number one Kiss fan I know. So now, and then I think the last thing we talked about before we stopped part one was Twisted Sister.
It's a star.
As everybody has a
Dee Snider.
Dee Snider being from Long Island and having a close connection to a lot
The
of the
program.
people from Program It Free and all that and everything else.
Korea travel.
Nice, Trevor and yeah, Fincor. And now jumping in to part two. We're gonna get really hard and heavy. We got the hard
Very
and heavy
heavy.
rock of the 70s and
70s and
80s,
80s.
and we're gonna jump in. And when we think of hard and
So
heavy
something
rock of the
new.
70s and 80s, one particular band with one particular guitar player to me really was a game changer and really led the way to what the 19
Music Mayhem.
close. But
That.
the band and guitar player who helped to define what would be heavy metal or heavy or hard rock, Van Halen.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
Oh.
Eric,
Sorry.
not a disparaging syllable about Van Halen.
Wow,
Oh,
Mark,
no.
you really beat me to it. You beat it Me too. That didn't really work, but
Nice
Oh,
going,
Eddie
Rich.
Van Halen.
he played the guitar solo on B. Yeah, all right. I got
He played the
right,
guitar
Rich.
solo on beat.
I did
Yes,
piece of music, Mark.
Excellent.
Just saying that.
Normally, I would jump at the chance
it's
Chomp.
even
make
Let's
fun.
go, Chomp.
better pun, better pun. Okay, so that was good. So yeah, Eddie Van Halen defining what guitar became within especially the heavy metal genre and the hair metal, which we'll get into more too. But Van Halen, huge, huge man. Another band that had the classic frontman, first David Lee Roth, and then later, and controversially, uh, some might say better or some may not, the Van Hagar era with Sammy Hagar. But but anyway, yeah. So Van Halen.
You
Uh,
guys got to know some Van Halen songs. Who knows? Dawn, we didn't hear from you in the first episode. You know any Van Halen songs?
Mm, no, I'm sorry, Mark.
Dude,
No,
I've
you
been
definitely
shooting.
do, Dawn. I will not accept no for an answer because you and I are part of the same generation, and there was no way to escape it. You definitely know the song Jump, don't you?
Chomp. Let's go, Chomp.
Oh
We
yeah,
can't,
I remember that.
yeah, we can't
Yes,
play a clip because of copyright stuff, and I'm not going to
yes.
alienate our audience by singing out of key as I often do. Uh, I know you know this one, Dawn. Panama. You know the song Panama?
No.
Hey, Mo.
I bet you know they also did a couple of cover songs that were very popular, including a song called Pretty Woman, which I know you have to know Pretty Woman.
It was originally by Roy Orbison.
Yeah, I know
I,
that.
it
Oh,
sounds to
you,
me a pretty woman walking down the street.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah,
that's the
That's
one.
that's
Uh,
it. Van Halen did a very famous version of that. That was released as a single. And they also did Dancing in the Street. You know that one?
Just in
No.
Richmond
You
oh,
Street.
that
don't
was
That
a
one.
know.
All right.
Big Mike.
Anybody
You know any
anybody here have a favorite Van Halen song or album or anything that any
Baby said I'ma beat it.
Beat It?
right,
Okay,
beat it
Yeah.
like we said. But Eddie
Michael
Van Halen
Jackson
was
song?
Eddie
yeah,
Van
and
Halen
No.
un, Eddie Van Halen is uncredited as playing the guitar solo in Beat It. He never even asked for a credit.
Yeah,
He never even
yeah.
asked for $1 from it. He didn't
Oh,
ask
and
for
Michael
anything.
Jackson?
I've
Yeah.
heard a second version of that. Rich, is that it wasn't an act of kindness as much as it was David Lee Roth was furious that Eddie Van Halen was going to be playing on a pop record and he thought it was going to damage their rock credibility. And
Yeah.
so that was why Eddie uh,
That's good.
didn't want his name on the record. It was to, unfortunately, in vain, but I think he was trying to keep the peace in his band and it ended up not working anyway.
Yeah, they definitely were not a band that kept much peace, and which led to David Lee Roth's exit from the band.
Yes.
But also went on to have a briefly successful solo career and had some of the another one of the best guitar players, who I believe was Steve Vai.
Yes.
He was
Student of
Steve
part of
Frank
Tyler?
Zappa. I actually
yeah.
saw them on that tour at Jones Beach. The opening
Don't
bands.
space.
How ironic! One of the opening bands was actually Extreme. So Van
So
Halen's
Jet?
last and worst vocalist, um, opening up for their original vocalist, and then Cinderella also at that show.
Cinderella? This is
The,
Cinderella.
Not the Disney Cinderella, Eric, but the '80s hair band Cinderella.
Okay,
Oh wow.
that's different.
And let me tell you, and before Tom Kiefer blew out his vocal cords, which we all knew was going to happen because you can't screech like that for so many years and get away with it. But until he blew it out, two very solid albums from Cinderella.
This is
Cinderella.
Cinderella.
Not Disney Cinderella. There's no glass slippers here.
There was no
Okay.
pumpkin. All right. Uh,
Alright.
but
But for
yeah,
homework, go home and listen to the song Gypsy Road if you really want a taste of what that band is capable of at full strength.
Excellent. Excellent. So,
But
with that,
I must warn you, it will get the adrenaline pumping. You
love
might,
it.
yes.
Love me some Cinderella and a lot of the bands from that era.
The Disney one? So can I let it go?
Ah, you can't let it go. Let it
Yeah,
go. Let
let
it.
it go.
Hey, Rich, where's my buddy popcorn and Coke?
All right. So with that, Van Halen kind of
Oh,
set the stage of what would be to come, and a lot of bands came out with that kind of like formula. We had the front man, you had the that incredible guitar player, and Eddie started all those guitar tapping techniques and everything. And then a lot of great bands came out of it with the Van Halen leading the charge. And I know there was one band in the 80s that my friend Mr. Wait a second. Where's Big
Oh,
Mike?
goodness.
oh yeah, lucky. I typed him.
Hold
Rookie
on a second.
three.
Where's Big Mike?
He's here.
Hello.
Are
Right
you
here.
there?
Yeah, right
Oh, sorry.
here.
I don't see you on my end for some reason, but you're here. So, which band do you want to throw in there, Mr. Big Mike?
E3. No, like play like Eye of a Tiger.
Right. What band?
A Survivor.
Yeah,
Survivor. Definitely
a
a
big
band that was famous for Eye of the Tiger, like you said, from Rocky 3. But definitely had that 80s feel, that guitar driven kind of Van Halen influence. But great song, great song.
And that singer rocked a wicked beret, if I may say.
Yeah.
Nice. So that is Mike. That is that your big pick? Do you have any other picks for bands that you really like?
Anyway, like Prince, Rich, like Prince, like Purple
Prince
Rain.
and the
Prince.
Revolution.
Oh my gosh.
Prince and the Revolution. Yeah, actually, Eric, that to me that is Prince. Prince and the Revolution.
Right.
Is it Prince and the Revolution, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. That was the original. I mean, that one video, 1999, where they start out and they all have their different parts, and the two keyboard player, the girls playing keyboards, and that
It
was
was
just
Sheila
And
E., right?
that's and he has a song called
Sheila
Purple
E. on
Rain.
percussion.
yeah, very good. Good pick, Big Mike.
Yeah.
Definitely got to say Prince. All right, let's see what else we have going on here. Well, oh,
Oh,
So it's that
yes.
hey, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. That's on the list.
bad
Uh,
reputation, Rich.
Miss Dawn, do you have anything about Joan Jett and the Blackhearts that you remember?
Who?
Joan
Listen
Jett,
to here.
very famous for singing a certain song. I believe it was called "I Love Rock and Roll."
Dawn,
No, I don't know that one.
You
You
don't
What's
know?
totally do.
this?
You did a whole gymnastics routine to this song. We watched it.
Yeah.
Huh?
You did a gymnastics routine. That video that we showed it, and
Oh, to what? I go rock and roll.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a famous song.
that's Joan Jett. Jonathan knows Joan Jett, right? Jonathan, do you cover a Joan Jett song in your band?
Yeah. We do I love rock and roll and I hate myself for loving you.
Yeah, two of them. Look at that.
I gotta say, "Bad Reputation" is one of my favorites. Just that
Oh yes.
upbeat, and the theme song to a very short-lived but a great show, Freaks and Geeks, which a lot
Oh
of
my goodness.
Ooh.
Yes. Now was that Joan Jett solo or is that the Runaways?
that was Joan Jett solo. That was her first. I think that was her first single off her first record. That was Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Yeah,
That is a great. Oh wow, that is a great song.
I know anyways.
and that's pretty heavy, man. That's like
Yeah.
punk. That is punk right there, you know. So gotta love it. But yeah, I hate myself for loving you. Our old friend Debbie Beeler, if anybody remembers, I guess it's just me and Mark, but
No,
she's in a new
I
band.
remember Debbie Bioria.
Her name's
Phenomenally
actually
talented.
phenomenally talented. She was actually in my band. She was with the Scoundrels for a while.
Oh,
I
cool.
remember I used to watch clips that when you would post
And
it.
Rich,
Yeah, so she's in a new band. Hold on, Eric, just one second.
sorry.
She's in a new band, and I went to go see them, and they're a cover band, and they did "I Hate Myself for Loving You," and I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
that's so
nice.
good." I'll have to share a clip sometime. I'm sorry, Eric. What you got?
So can up Kid from that haircut place in your band.
Oh, Tara, yes. Tara, or another scoundrel for life, Miss Tara. Although I used to call Debbie, who's more like a damsel. You know, you had the scoundrels and you have the damsels.
Yeah.
So
Ah,
I was
yes.
I called her Debbie Damsel. I thought that would stick. It didn't stick. Didn't stick.
No.
I thought that'd be a great stage name. But anyway, so good stuff. What else we got? Let's see. 70s and 80s. Ah, I don't
Oh
know
my
if
goodness.
anybody knows this band.
Oh my
There's a
gosh.
same poster I saw in that area trying to have snacks. That
That's
poster.
right. That they have that poster in City Sound Studios where the Rockers rehearse. And I love that photo. So
I
I had
think
to
it's in the
find it.
bathroom.
But
Sorry.
Mark, you can tell us about this band.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I don't want to hog the mic. This is my number one favorite band of all time. Now, Richie, you called me earlier the number one Kiss fan. I gotta qualify this. Kiss is the first band that I ever listened to, and the first band I ever geeked out over and totally obsessed over. Um, at a certain age, it got kind of silly, but I couldn't give it up because I they were the first, the foundational layer of my musical education. Rush, on the other hand, I never outgrew Rush. I only grew to love them more and more throughout my life. Whereas Kiss is like they've embarrassed me a number of times with horrible quotes in the media and different publicity stunts and such. Rush never embarrassed me. I've always been a proud nerd Rush fan and very excited. I'll be seeing them twice actually on the coming tour. Um,
Nice. That's amazing. Their new drummer, she's phenomenal.
Annika Niles.
They only got one. They had she's one song that they I think she played on an award show or something that
They
they had
did
on.
Finding My Way.
That was like what was that Rush's one of their first songs? One of their first
It was from the very first album before Neil Peart even joined the band.
Oh
Um,
wow, I didn't even realize it. So she wasn't even playing an original Neil Peart song. Look at that.
no, so they put out one album with a drummer named John Rutsey, and then uh, they got picked up. They started to become successful. He had some medical issues, diabetes specifically, and they um, it might have also been an issue of chops. But when they were now getting a record deal and things were starting to happen, and they didn't believe that this guy was going to be able to withstand the rigors of touring, so they kicked him out. And then the second album is when Rush became Rush. The first album with Neil
Russell.
Peart, Fly By Night, came out in
Ah, phenomenal.
1975, the same
So
year I was.
good. So good. And I guess like their first album, I think you would probably agree, definitely showed that Led Zeppelin influence. I feel like they had more of a Zeppelin kind of sound, and then they really started to develop their own sound and one of the greatest power trios of all time. And yeah, love me some Rush. In fact, working on a new project actually, doing a little side project doing power trio, like an all power trio kind of band. And
Nice.
definitely got some Rush we're working on to throw in there. Maybe a little Working Man,
All right. Yeah,
little
Working Man.
Lime,
So that
little
was the
Limelight.
song. That was the song that launched them because, believe it or not, there was some anti-Canadian racism going on. Uh, American radio stations were not playing Rush because they're from Canada. Maybe it's not racist against,
And
might just been biased towards American bands. But a DJ in Cleveland played Working Man, and the boards lit up, and that's how they got their foot in the door in the United States. You
and
guys know Rush?
duh.
Anybody else here know any Rush songs?
I've heard of Rush.
Have you heard of the song Tom Sawyer? Just, I think that's
Tom
probably
Sawyer?
one of their most famous that people recognize. But one of the first songs when I really got into drums, that was a song I learned note for note.
Tom
But yeah.
Sawyer,
I'm
classic.
sorry, sister.
Anybody ever see the movie I Love You, Man? No.
I've
Yes.
heard of it. I've probably seen bits and pieces of it.
Rush is featured prominently in that movie, and I believe that Paul Rudd and Jason Segel must be big Rush
I know
fans.
those two. I
You
know
know
those
those
two
two?
actors.
Where do you know them from, Eric?
Jason Segels from that show. With Neil Patrick Harris
Neil Patrick
show,
Harris. You're right. It was oh my gosh, what
and
is that?
and Paul Rudd is from that superhero movie.
How I Met Your
Ant-Man.
How I Met
Yeah.
Your Mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yes. Yeah, wow, Eric.
Very
And
good.
also Jason Segels from the Muppets reboot movie.
He was. Yes, he's also a puppeteer, which
That's
was
Yes.
well, that was featured in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, but
right.
we'll
But
go
Jason Segel, who also came out of a certain show, which brings it around,
full circle.
Freaks
Freaks
and
and
Geeks.
Geeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rush. We knew we had to get that in there. But let's see. I think I got one more on this list. I got room over here. Oh man.
Guns N'
Wow.
Roses.
Making
All
me
right.
feel
So
all rich.
I gotta talk about Guns N' Roses a second. So Guns N' Roses is the band that probably when they came out, when I heard Slash's solo to Sweet, not his solo, his solos also, but his that first guitar riff to Sweet Child of Mine.
Mm.
That's what I
Oh,
decided.
that's a cool one.
I want to learn how to play guitar. I want to be a guitar player. I want to play like Slash. So Guns N' Roses was a
Hey,
huge influence
Rich.
on me. Yes, sir.
Don't get us some Welcome to the Jungle.
Welcome to the jungle.
I
Oh, of course. That
What else? You guys know anybody else know any other Guns N' Roses songs?
Those two songs, Rich
Sweet
mentioned.
Child of Mine.
Yes, Sweet Child of Mine. Great pick, Don.
Thank you.
Sweet Child, which the Scoundrels cover.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
Jonathan, you know any Guns N' Roses?
yeah. Paradise City.
Oh, what a song. Paradise City. Amazing.
first drum beat I ever learned that I taught
Mm.
myself. Boom, pop, boom, pop,
Boom, pop,
boom,
boom,
pop,
pop,
boom, pop,
pop,
boom,
boom,
pop.
pop, boom.
See? Me and Mark got it. This is drum speak. Drum speak. Drum speak. But yeah, Guns N' Roses, huge influence.
Yeah.
Not the most family appropriate band, but
No.
you know,
Yeah.
that's
But
rock and
definitely
roll.
we couldn't have this discussion without mentioning them. I actually saw them on the Not on This Lifetime tour. And I was never the biggest Guns N' Roses fan, but this ticket just kind of fell into my hands. A coworker was desperate to get rid of it, and I went more out of curiosity than fandom, just because, like the tour name suggests, that not in this lifetime. Nobody thought that they would ever put their differences aside, but that was the first time I'd ever seen them, and wow, it was a really good show, I have to say, even as somebody who's not the biggest fan.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses, I saw them at that same tour at Giant Stadium, the Meadowlands, and they came on time. They stayed the whole time. A big difference
Yep,
from when they
Giants
were out,
Stadium.
and the difference from their peak in the 90s where they would be hours late and actually literally caused a riot at one point.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
not the
Yeah,
most,
computers.
band you want to look up to, but musically, I love that band. And we can't mention Guns N' Roses, lastly, before we move on to the next section, but you got to say Metallica.
Oh,
gosh.
please.
When you talk about influence on
God.
hard rock and heavy metal, Metallica, the double bass, Lars Ulrich. But Eric, what is your problem?
What do you got
Uh,
against Metallica? You don't like Metallica?
I have their opinions on songs and bands. Come on.
What
Every
song?
other band.
That is how
So-
their opinions, which
No, I love your opinion, Eric. But tell me, in your opinion, what do you think is a bad song from Metallica?
I don't know. Just I like
You
them
can't name a
to.
song. You gotta name a song
Just
you don't like if you're gonna say you don't like them.
it's not that. It's just I like the ones I like, not the ones you guys like.
All right, but you don't have to moan over it.
But still,
What
that's
what
their
what happened
opinion.
if you said Miley Cyrus, and I went, ah,
No, that's different.
ah.
That's
That's different.
different.
That's different
Yes.
because you like it.
Yeah, I
I love
do.
it, Eric. I love it. It's that this is why this is a conversation. Some of these bands we might like, some of these bands we might not like. But
Yeah.
the point is these are all huge influential bands in music and talking about classic rock bands. Anybody Jonathan, you have anything from Metallica that you like?
Um, yeah, I like just in general, I like their music.
Yeah, I know probably most of you would know Enter Sandman. That was
Yeah,
probably
that's a
their
good one.
most mainstream big hit. Uh, Metallica's another band that earlier on that when I heard the first opening to Master of Puppets, that
Hmm.
was another song that was like, oh
Yes.
man, I gotta learn this, and I learned it on the guitar. But another great band. Famously was on that same tour and actually on tour with Metallica when that said riot happened that I mentioned. That was
Oh,
a
wow.
I mean, I think James Hetfield actually burned his arm from
Yeah.
With the
pyrotechnics.
song?
Yeah, it was
Uh,
like well, it was similar to what happened to Michael Jackson, Eric. He was standing
Oh.
too close to
Oh
one of the
yeah.
pyrotechnics on stage, and when the flash pot went off, he got
I also saw
severely
that in the
burned.
movie.
so
Yeah, they
that the
showed that
Michael movie.
in the movie,
Yes.
Michael. Yeah.
So yeah, so he burned his hand, and that caused they had to stop playing obviously, and I cut their set short. And then Guns N' Roses was supposed to come on, and they came on hours late. And then a couple of songs in, I like
Mm,
Axel just decided to throw his mic down and leave because there was a problem with
mm.
something with the crowd and security, and then that literally caused a riot. Like,
Yeah, people
so
died, I think. And then
yeah, it's terrible. It's a terrible thing. But anyway, moving on to some more positive things.
Rip Kill.
Hopefully I won't get moaned at by Eric for what's coming up. Let's see. Actually, guys, we're getting more into now the 90s.
Oh,
All
that's
nice.
right,
tough.
so the 90s, I think some of these bands we might relate to. This is going to be one kind of shot pick, and then we can look through and you guys just throw out your favorite bands in the 90s, but check it out. Let's see. Rock in the
Oh,
90s,
Oh, he'll
grunge
go.
and pop punk.
That's a
now we're
pop.
gonna now we'll get all the young whippersnappers involved in the discussion here.
So what bands we have just in this picture? Let's see
Green
here.
Day and Nirvana.
Yeah, in Nirvana.
Let's see. Green
Down in
Day,
Yeah.
Nirvana.
the bottom left, is that the Offspring?
That is the Offspring.
Ooh.
Oh, come out and play. And down here, they're kind of cut off, but I believe that's Blink 182.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
He'll go.
And then here's Foo Fighters.
Hmm.
Dave Grohl, who was the drummer of Nirvana. But so much good music. Grunge, for me, what they call grunge music, that was that's when I was 14 when Nirvana came out and Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains and Soundgarden, all these bands in Seattle. Seattle blew up and it was a huge thing. That's when I was right when I was getting into guitar, and I remember hearing I remember watching MTV. It was like 12 in the morning and Smells Like Teen Spirit came on and nobody ever heard it before.
That's a good
That
song.
was like I think it was like 2 in the morning. That was the only time they showed it when it first came out. And I when I saw that I was like, this is really good, you know, and then it blew up.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, grunge, Pearl Jam, another one of my favorite bands.
I like Green
Guitars.
Day.
So
Uh,
before all of those bands got signed to the major labels and grunge kind of took over all of music, these were just a lot of just indie bands in the Seattle area. They weren't wearing flannel as like a fashion statement. It's just how they dress. So they go to a gig straight from work, and these bands were that started to get a taste of success were signed to a label called Sub Pop Records.
Mean,
And
Mark?
at the end, yeah,
What's that mean, Mark? What's that mean?
Sub Pop Records was a label, Mike. So bands would sign to work for
Yeah.
Sub Pop
Oh
and
wow.
that would be they would sell their albums. I'm actually
Oh wow.
staying at a hotel in Seattle at the end of this month that is dedicated to the Sub Pop label. My room, every room, is actually has a record player and a curated selection of vinyl from those bands. So we're talking Nirvana, Mudhoney, Melvins. That was a huge influence on Nirvana. But yeah, those bands, they were all friends with each other. They would pop up on each other's albums. Like you'd get an Alice in Chains album, and maybe Chris Cornell might do a cut on it, or they all knew each other. Do you guys know any of these bands? You gotta. This is like your music.
Yeah.
Uh, you guys grew up with this. What do you know from these bands, Jonathan?
Um, I know Basket Case,
Basket. Oh, from Green Day.
Green Day.
Yeah.
I know you do a lot of Green Day with the Dark Eagles, right?
Yeah.
One of my favorite drummers, Trey Cool from
Very
Green
cool.
Day. Very
And
fun to watch.
speaking of which, Mike,
Yes,
I mean,
yes, Rich.
we've been talking a lot about music, right?
You're right.
So I feel like, I mean, we can't play a Green Day clip,
No,
but
no,
who
no,
says we
no.
can't have the Rockers play some Green Day for us?
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think? Should we check out some Rockers?
Yes.
Doing a song by Green Day?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
this little box come up here. What does this do if I click that? I heard it all before. So don't knock on my door. I'm a user, but I don't need no user. Don't strike me down because you know I'm right. So don't do what you like. Make sure you do it right. You may find out that yourself down and the nothing was ever there. Take for pushing something if it's just not right. Here we go. No time to search the world around. But you know where I'll be found when I come around. Heyo.
Beautiful. Oh, right. Very impressive.
So that was some rockers
this
doing When I Come Around from Green Day. Yeah, definitely a band that, like Mark, like you said, Trey Cool as a drummer was
no such
when I
stuff
was,
though.
even though I consider myself a guitarist and I play drums. I never call myself a drummer, but I played drums a lot and I played drums in bands and stuff. But that was one of those when Green Day came out, Trey Cool and all his awesome, fast, fun stuff. That's when I really got into the drums and started to playing. But yeah, Green Day definitely like one of those power chord bands. But they had some
Mm.
great music, a lot of great music.
No
Went on
such
From
to
the
stuff.
do
from the Bay Area, a hotbed of the resurgence, what they might call post punk or pop punk.
yeah, post punk, pop punk, definitely. That's Offspring, and you got all those bands that came out. Um, and that speaking of another label, I believe it was what label was that in that area? Um, Lookout Records. Lookout
Lookout
Records.
Records, yeah. So that was where Operation Ivy started on that, and that later on members went on to form one of my favorite bands, Rancid.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rancid. And
No such
Operation
stuff
Ivy was a
though.
big influence on Green Day. In fact, one
Huge.
of their
Yeah, they cover Op Ivy songs.
I posted
yeah.
pit.
Eric, you know any Pearl Jam?
I said I like posted pit.
You like what, bud? I'm sorry.
Posted pit. Oh, passion.
Is that a song?
No, I say name I know from that song. I'll show you.
I love how like the camera's following Eric as he goes.
Mike, you know any Pearl Jam?
Hey, Rich, I like We Did for the Rockers, right, Rich? Green Day. I like the
Yeah, we
song.
did
Yeah,
so Green Day.
yeah.
Um, I don't even know Pearl Jam, but Eric, you mentioned Green Day. Do you have any favorite Green Day?
About Bye Broken Dreams
Oh, well,
and
yes.
Holiday.
Holiday, all from the seminal 2000s con rock opera concept album American Idiot.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
definitely
know
a
American
huge
Idiot.
huge album that led to a Broadway play, Broadway show.
Saw that show on Broadway.
Did you really? The on actual
Yes.
Broadway? That's awesome. They're actually going to be doing that show at Cultural Arts Playhouse in Syosset, where my niece Sammy may be in that show. I don't know
Hey,
yet.
Rich,
She might be. Speaking of which, shameless plug. Jesus Christ
Rich,
Superstar, another huge concept album, big show,
Rich.
gonna be out, coming out soon. Yes, Eric.
Let's talk about this.
Manners.
Poison Pill.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a band? Or is that an album?
Oh, never heard of that before, but
Yeah.
is that like a rock band?
I don't know.
Oh,
It has a song called right here,
the song is called
Sleepyhead.
Sleepyhead. Okay, that's cool. I'll have to check it out. Well, anybody have any other bands that we haven't talked about that
I gotta
you want to
I gotta
mention?
say Alice in Chains, Rich, just while we're on the grunge tip.
Yeah, Sows and Chains, huge. And Soundgarden, we gotta say Soundgarden. Chris
Indeed.
Cornell, one of the most amazing vocalists of all time, who was also later with Audioslave,
Oh
with members
yeah,
of another band we
Train.
haven't mentioned, Rage
A
Against the
train.
Machine.
Mhm.
A
Also
train.
the first male vocalist to sing a James Bond theme song.
Oh wow.
About train.
Train?
The band Train.
The band Train. Oh,
Yes.
um
The guys who did the Hey Soul Sister song.
Yeah, they did a lot of cool
oh, Hey
songs
Soul Sister.
from the
Yes.
till
Hey,
2000s. Drops of Jupiter.
Yeah,
Baby.
Jonathan and I Jonathan did a song analysis of that song, Drops of Jupiter.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Drive By.
it's actually a very it's a very poignant, powerful song. Who knew? I had no idea. Um, but yeah, about
Oh,
grief
Jack
and
Carlson.
yeah. Jack Johnson. I'm going to see Jack Johnson in
Nice.
September.
Nice.
And I got to point out the alliteration that we've seen throughout this episode. Joan Jett,
Uh,
Jack Johnson, Poison Pill.
Poison Pill.
it's Poison Pit, not Pill.
Poison Pit.
Oh,
Poison
Poison
Yes.
Pit. Well, it's still alliteration, so
I think.
you're not gonna ruin my party.
Mike, you have any other bands or artists that we haven't mentioned?
Nickelback.
I'm
That's the
sorry.
one. That's the one name that will not be said in
Yeah.
this group. We're gonna delete that. I'm gonna go and edit that one out. I'm gonna edit it
Yeah,
out.
No.
I just heard some
Nickelback.
static through my speakers here. I couldn't hear that. It was just sounded like some white noise.
I'm sorry,
Come
Eric, but that is
on.
the one band that you're gonna say that I'm gonna go. Oh,
No, no, that's
oh
stupid. Let's come on.
no.
Let's come on.
Just kidding. There are
Yeah.
Nickelback fans out there. They are out there somewhere, and you're welcome to be one of them. But we won't be going to the Nickelback concert anytime soon. Jonathan, any before we go, any honorable mentions
Yeah.
of bands?
Um mm, Maroon 5.
Oh,
Ah, there you go.
Maroon 5, really good band.
Imagine Dragons.
They got a lot more pop as they went, but their first album I really liked, and I remember Saturday Night
Imagine
Live.
Dragons.
Saturday Night Live, uh, known for not having the greatest musical acts. Sometimes they have these random acts or whatever. But Maroon 5 is where I first saw them, was on SNL, and they rocked. They were
How
really
about Imagine Dragons?
Imagine Dragons, another more modern band. Uh, if anybody out there ever seen the show Impractical Jokers, you guys ever seen Impractical Jokers? It's like a prank show.
I think I've seen one or two episodes.
Ah, great prank show if you ever watch it. Well, there was one what they do with somebody. They have punishments. What they mean is when somebody loses a certain amount of
Our news
pranks, they get punished. And one of the punishments, it was actually at Jones Beach Theater. They had Imagine Dragons concert, and they
Ah,
made two of the guys from Practical Jokers open for them. So one guy went out on the drums and the other one with the guitar. They had no idea how to play. They were just making up ridiculous songs. You got to check it out. It was fun. That's what I think of when I hear Imagine Dragons. But anyway, guys, I think we covered a lot of classic rock bands, and
Yeah.
this was a really fun episode, and
Right.
well, two episodes. But think we're gonna wrap it up.
I
And
think I think there is somebody here. Doesn't open it up right now.
so before we go, who wants to give us a rockin' goodbye? There we go. Horns up, everybody.
Yeah.
Horns up all around. Mark, you got to talk when you do that. Let's see because I don't think it
Oh,
goes
does
to
it
you.
make will it make a demon voice?
No, but it won't show you until there you go. When you got to
All
talk.
right, here we go. Okay, I thought that would have been really cool if it would have made me sound like a demon. I mean, but this is still pretty cool.
It looks very cool.
Oh yeah, I like it.
All right. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, everybody, once again for joining the Fun Pop Fan Gang
Fan
for
gang.
another episode.
Yeah.
Right.
Once again, we have our episodes. If you're in the car, and you just want to listen, we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all that kind of stuff.
Subscribe and ring the bell for the next episode and other stuff. And comment.
Yes,
Took
comment.
the words right out of my mouth, Eric. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Make sure to comment. Hey, are there any rock bands that you like that we didn't mention? Hit us up in the comments.
We
And
want
we're
to
gonna
know our
try and
audience.
make and we're trying to make coming 2000s rock bands.
Oh,
The
maybe we'll do a
2000s,
future
yes.
episode featuring more 2000s rock bands. I like it, Eric. There could be a sequel.
Yeah.
But all right, everybody. Well, hope everybody has a rocking day. And before we go, we're gonna go around our panel and say goodbye. Mike, anything you want to tell our faithful audience?
So we can describe.
I did that part. Thank you.
You can never ask them to subscribe enough. Never. Because maybe they didn't hear the first time.
Yeah.
All right, Jonathan, what do you got to say before we go?
Hope you enjoyed the video.
And that's it.
Nice. Eric?
I understand that part already.
Oh, you did your part already.
Yeah.
All right, I'll edit that out as well as the Nickelback one. And finally, Mr. Mark Lazo, final words before we
Mr.
hit the
Mark.
road.
About to end.
Yeah, what an episode.
Okay.
My favorite episodes that we do are these kind where we have so much to say that we have to stretch it over into two parters. This definitely part two here definitely made me feel my age now that the music I grew up listening to is featured in a classic rock podcast episode. And so, but it makes sense. This is also the first week that I've become a full-time glasses wearer, getting my second spinal surgery. So I guess it makes perfect sense that my music is old people music now. But Rich, excellent moderation again. Thanks to the outstanding AV department, the best in the business. And thank you to all our audience and to our panel and to Rich for just getting all the great visuals going and really picking so many great bands for us to talk about. So thanks for that. And yeah, we love the engagement, guys. We want to know, who are you out there? Who is our audience? Give us a like and a comment. Let us know. Did we leave anybody off the list?
Yeah, 2000s. Yeah.
But on that note, I hope you all are cranking out some great tunes. And thank you for tuning in to the Fun Pop Fam Gang.
We continued until thousands of command.
And on that note,
2000s, maybe in the future.
in the
Peace.
future. All right, guys. Peace.
Yes.
Rock on.
Rock on.